There we go. Right. All right. And admit all. I'm just gonna, you are co-host, right? Okay, perfect. So you could admit everyone. All right. Awesome. Welcome everyone. Today we're gonna be talking about whether or not, which yes, we're gonna talk about will Tesla bots transform the party rental industry? I just want to hear from everyone who's excited and who's skeptical because I know I was one of the skeptics for the longest time. I thought it was going to be like 10 years from now, but the fact that it's is absolutely insane, and the fact that they're being mass produced at such a low cost compared to like what I would have thought a robot would have costed, right? Less than a car. I'm super excited. I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys excited? I feel like you
Very
know,
skeptical.
skeptical. All right. Well, I have lots of facts to share with you guys. They're gonna hopefully those this session, you guys are gonna feel a lot less skeptical because I have the facts straight from OpenAI, so straight from Elon Musk. So I'm super excited to share this stuff with you guys. So we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna, have my presentation with a bunch of facts, and then I'm gonna have an open-ended, roundtable where you guys can talk about your thoughts, what do you guys think, and all of that. So let's go. All right. Present here. By the way, this slideshow was made with AI, so I made it in like 20, maybe 15 minutes. All right. So, well, are you good on admitting everyone? Um, I just
Yes, I got you.
perfect. All right. So, will Tesla bots transform the party rental industry? A few guys already shared that you guys are skeptical, but we're gonna get started to change that. So, let's go. All right. Tesla bots, an investment for the future party rental businesses. So, estimated cost straight from Elon Musk, he said it's going to be around 20 to 30,000 dollars for the robots. That's less than a car, right? So makes it affordable. Think about how much your seasonal guys, right? Not only can you use it for work, but hey, he could clean your house, cook for you, do so there's lots of use cases for it, right? Labor cost reduction. By automating setup and teardown tasks, Tesla bots can cut labor costs up by up to 70%, right? That's a significant ROI, right? In just season, you could probably make that money back, obviously, depending on how many deliveries you guys have, how big you are. But um, think about that, right? Like you get this thing once, and I'm going to talk more about upkeep, maintenance on them, and all of that, which is relatively low. But less dependencies on seasonal hires. We all know how hard it is to get those hires there the job in the summer, and then come winter time, and you're like, all right, guys, we're done. And then you have to start over next summer. So we already know how hard that is. So this will literally remove that issue. Um, but let's get into more of how you teach it, right? Like how is it going to know how to set up a bounce house? How is it going to know? Literally, it just watches you because you can talk to it, right? You talk to it just like you talk to a normal person. You're like, hey, I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. I'm going to show you how to set up these bounce houses, right? And then it literally just watches you and it learns and replicates your behavior. And over time, it has adaptive AI learning. So over time, it becomes better and better at the specific task. So that's really amazing. Um, and there's also apps that help you adjust and customize specific tasks as needed. So I don't know too much about that. I'm excited to learn more once that stuff is launched. But it seems that there will be an app where you guys can customize certain tasks based on like things that you've taught it. I imagine it would be something like, a recording um, of the perform task that you showed it, and then it kind of go from there. I'm excited to see that. That's pretty crazy that all you have to do is demonstrate something to it and it learns. Um, so they're made to be super simple to operate, right? They have the same technology that's in the Tesla cars. So just like, the Tesla can literally drive and on its own and all of that, it has the same kind of technology. So it's made for really, really easy use. And like I said, they're continuous improvement. So just like your phone software updates, they update. So you don't have to buy a new one. Of course, they're probably going to come up with like, better and better ones, but there's always going to be new software updates to improve the one that you already have. Um, Outdoor durability and adaptability. This is a big one, right? They're weather resistant. Um, they can handle uneven surfaces, right? So if they're setting up on uneven surfaces, they can handle that. And then high sensitivity sensors. So they are able to, like, if there's something in the way, they're able to notice that and move around. It sounds crazy. It's freaking insane. I can't wait to see it in motion. But um, heavy lifting capabilities. This is a really big one. Okay. So they're able to deadlift 150 pounds. Okay. Deadlift. Yes. I swear. I swear. They can deadlift 150 pounds. They can carry 45 pounds in one hand, but they're able to deadlift 150 pounds. That makes you feel a little some type of way, I understand. But and so with they know how to operate dollies, right? You could teach it how to operate a dolly, but that's actually something that they've been taught already. So using dollies, obviously they can carry heavier and heavier loads. Um, One thing about them though is they can't drive for you, so that's like something you're gonna have to figure out. Right? They can't drive. That's one thing. Maybe you're gonna have to get a Tesla for it or something. But hey, I'm down to just drop off the robot and make it do the setup. I don't think that makes life that hard, right? Or get it an Uber. You can get it an Uber. Like take it to the delivery and like drop it off and bring it back. You know how there's Uber Connect where like you can just deliver like packages? You can someone might steal it. But anyways, so yep, they're able to do that. So that fact, this is probably the most powerful fact. The fact that they can do that, it's pretty insane. So they're very stable. They're able to transport equipment on uneven surfaces with high precision. Um, we already kind of went over this one. I think it's going backwards. There we go. So Amazon and Walmart have been doing this in their warehouses for a long time. They have not been necessarily using the Tesla bots, but they have their own robots that they've been using in their warehouses for quite some time. It's nothing new. It's new to us. It's being mass produced recently, but this has been going on for a long time. They've been saving money on this for quite some time, right? So it's nothing absolutely like new, right? It's been done, but we're just being introduced to it, which is freaking amazing. So they're designed for versatile. So it's a perfect solution for party rentals. Let's talk about it, right? So their hands, that's one thing I was like really weird about. Like it's like, are they really gonna know how to like hold things? But yes, apparently their hands are designed for complex equipment and light setup. They're able to maneuver their hand just like a human would. Okay, so they have like the flexibility in their hands that we wouldn't think they would, but they do. And this isn't actually a Tesla. This is just a it's just an AI photo. Um, but they stay quiet, so they're not annoying. They don't talk. It's a good thing, right? They're just silent, smooth operations. But high public interest. Imagine delivering a bounce house with a robot. Like, think about the added value. Like, you could freaking charge more for that. Like, kids get to see a real life robot doing this. Liz, Steven, why do you keep shaking your head?
I don't know. I don't think that taking the human factor out of the industry is going to be a good idea.
I mean, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying it's possible, right? So it's there. I agree. I know it's different, but hey, I do believe that one day all of this stuff is going to be automated in every single way. And I mean, it's just really the facts are there. But I'm not saying it's a way to go. I'm just saying it's a way to go and it's possible, right? So it's exciting. But I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I'm excited.
Well,
All perspectives are going to be.
you did say that it hasn't learned how to drive a vehicle yet, so it can't deliver the bounce houses for you quite yet.
I'm not saying it's not made to drive. So like it's not yet made to drive. I'm sure that it could if it, but I don't think they want their liability, right? I don't think that's necessarily something that they made it's not made for that reason. It's made to do like repetitive tasks and stuff like that. It's not made to drive your car, right?
Yeah. So it still has a way to go before it can replace the human factor. Like
Absolutely.
100%. Like, I mean, you did say that the cost factor of these things is like 20 to 30 grand per bot. So, I mean, think about that though. Like, how many of them would each company need to actually run their company off of? Um, you
100%.
know, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be sinking into a robot that's not going to earn you money when you could be putting the same amount of money into getting something like a trackless train that will earn you money in the off season.
I think that that really more depends on how quickly is it able to set something up. Like how
Oh
quickly is it able to get the job done, you
yeah,
know,
the efficiency.
for sure.
Absolutely. According to my knowledge and what I've learned, they're definitely, as far as efficiency, they're able to carry heavy weight, right? And they're able to just stay focused. They're not like humans or being distracted or they're unmotivated or they're like, oh my God. It's
The
yeah.
heavyweight, you did say that it does have a heavyweight cap on it.
It,
So we know that these industrial vinyl bounce houses are way more than what that bot can initially handle.
but it's more than what a human can handle as well. That's why we use dollies, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at, is
Oh
that
yeah.
they're able to operate dollies very efficiently, right? So it's kind of the idea that although they can't, like just like a human, I can't carry 150 pounds, but I'm sure, I don't know so well. I don't know if
I'd like to see a Tesla bot readjust a bounce house on a dolly if it doesn't go on right. I'd like to see them do that.
absolutely. I mean, hey, this webinar is just to introduce the idea because it's going to happen, right? It's just about when, how, all of this. Like we have these facts, and they're only going to get better and better. We know that. I mean, think about, you know, 20 years ago when we had these smartphones that didn't do anything, and we thought they were the coolest thing. So just imagine, right? Um,
Here we are on smartphones and run everything off of them.
Mhm.
yep. Yep. So again, talking about, did we go over this? Yep. So as they do things more often, as we were like kind of going off of what you said, they become more and more efficient with every use. So they continually learn. So let's say it learned that, moving it this way isn't as good as moving it this way, then it's going to next time it's going to start doing things better. So it learns from itself, which I mean, hey, that's freaking amazing. You don't think that's amazing. I don't know what to tell you. That's pretty amazing. Um, but affordable investment with finance options. So we know this isn't obviously they've said that they're going to be financeable, right? Just like a car would be. And they're going to have low maintenance needs. So minimal upkeep. I'm not sure too much about what that would look like. But I'm sure there's going to be insurance, just like anything valuable. There's always some kind of insurance companies trying to make money off of it. So I'm sure that's going to be a thing. Um, so this is just summing it up, right? So automated setup and tear down. I would imagine just like, when you have a delivery, most of the time from what I see, it's like two people. So I would think you would need two of them, right? But think about that. That's like 300 pounds in deadlifting together, right? Like with the dolly, like I'm sure there's so much we could see. And again, this is all projection, right? This is all projection based on the facts that we know. So I'm not saying this is 100% how it's going to go, but this is just feeding that idea into our brains. Like, for me, this gets me excited because all I hear about and when I'm doing my job, which I do, like I consult people, I help people grow their businesses and all that stuff. I hear more than anything that hiring is always such a problem with the seasonal stuff. It's
Mhm.
one of the biggest things that I hear. So to me, this is exciting, and I feel like a lot of people would start beating themselves up and regretting their decisions to even start the business. So I feel like for those types of people that are struggling, like this, I mean, really makes the future look a lot brighter. Um,
For the ones struggling to find workers, yeah. Uh, for people who are looking, for the human factor, people who are trying to find a career in this business, I do think that the bots are going to take away um, the the ability to put food on their tables. When you try to replace man with machine, a lot of people are going to be out of a job. Even the hard workers, they're not going to have work. They're going to get replaced by these robots, and I do think that that's going to hurt people in the grand scheme of things.
Yep, or it could make everyone's lives easier. Elon Musk has a like really long video on YouTube of talking about the future of this, and basically the idea is that really people wouldn't need to work anymore and everyone would have money, right? It goes into a lot of details. Like can't really sum it up in that short amount of time. But this is just I get that. That's another concern. Like I have that concern for my own job, right? If we could automate something like this, we could probably automate something like I do, you know? So of course that's always going to be a scary thing, but we're here to talk about the good things that it can bring, right? Although, I mean, we should talk about the bad things too. There's always going to be downsides to everything. There's
Oh,
always
yeah.
going to be
There's definitely going to be the downside of things on what these things can do and how they could damage and replace humans.
But let's be honest, I don't think anyone's looking for a long-term career in delivering bounce houses. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't think that's the case.
At least not doing the labor part of it.
Labor,
Sheesh.
that's what I'm talking about, the labor part.
Yeah, like I mean, I think
That was
it's
my
a
game plan, but
like
as
good
you get
route.
older, people don't want the older people.
But then again, here's the thing: when you want to think about it, like this allows for people, like manual labor isn't really the best way of a human, like humans use it. Like we have our brains, we have creativity. Like this opens up the room for us to, hire people that are going to grow our businesses and invest that money in different ways outside of manual labor. Like now you have money to, more market.
Or in other businesses and have more entries of income. That way you're not just dependent on one company or one form of income.
Right.
And if it can do party rentals, it could probably do the task in the warehouses that we have a hard time getting help to do.
Exactly.
Yep.
Even
Like when you've got like majority of your warehouse out on the job site setting up these events, you got nobody in the warehouse handling the rest of the work. So that might be something that the bots could also do.
That's what Aaron was saying, that they would definitely come in handy inside the warehouses. That's for sure.
And even if it was just you had it programmed to place what you needed in what trailer in a certain section, it becoming a warehouse worker when you ain't got to would be an idea. And that is where they'll be factoring in to begin with, because you can't transport them. So you build them to know the games before the software update where they're able to get into the passenger seat of a self-driving Tesla.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy though? They're able to walk. They're able to walk and go to
Imagine you're on freaking like the highway and you just see this little bot on the side carrying a fucking bounce house on its like back or however it would, That's what that's what I'm picturing. Like, you don't even need a dolly at that point.
I doubt these things are going to be carrying bounce houses on their backs. I mean, can you imagine these things trying to carry one of the water units? Those things are twice the weight when they're wet, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they're gonna be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say was the weight capacity?
Oh, it can deadlift 150 pounds.
Oh, okay, yeah, probably not.
Right. So
deadlift 150, but if you've got two of them working together, that's what 300. Now, some of those bigger units are twice as heavy, especially the wet units, the water slides and everything. They're twice as heavy. I've deadlifted with help up to 800 pounds and higher on some of those units, the bigger ones. So I'd like to see a Tesla bot replace that kind of manpower.
But that's where
even if we have two bots carrying a heavy bouncer, how are they going to be able to work in synchrony together and lifting that stuff?
Oh, that's the part
that robots.
That's the part that
I'll do the rest of the work. They can replace my back work. Like they can lift it up, but I'll handle the rest.
Yeah. Okay, one thing I will tell you, I'm sure they could roll a bounce house like it's a freaking like a machine rolled it up. I mean, I'm sure they have, but I mean, let's be honest. Like, I'm not trying to say they're better than humans, but like they have a computer precision. Like, I mean, I can't say, but I mean, think about when we buy something and it's like folded from the factory and it's like perfectly done, and then we undo it and we can never get it back to that position again.
That was a robot.
I would challenge the bot. I would challenge the bot. I've been able to re-roll units small enough and big enough to fit their bags, their protective bags. If a bot cannot re-roll them like that, they are
That's what
not
I don't want.
replacing me.
You're the exception, I feel. I feel like you, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of the, for example, with like Tariq's business, a lot of the guys that work there are, I don't think they can deadlift 400 pounds. I mean, I don't think they can deadlift 400. I don't know. But they said get the job done, right? I mean, at that point, you'd start being more efficient, like what you buy. Like maybe don't buy those heavy, crazy things with a bunch of stuff on them, Like, I don't know.
It's a lot of time. It's time consuming too, though. That's the thing is that while you're sitting there really trying to like get this thing rolled up so it can fit into a tight space, meanwhile you can either be doing a drop off or a pickup or networking with somebody else or making a reservation for another event, stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's definitely. I feel like it's definitely something to entertain at least, and just see if it works. It may not work for everybody. Like they say, it's not.
Maybe getting like one or two to start with and pairing them up with humans to see how well they work with the humans.
You know what I just thought about too? Like just having, have you seen the Tesla bots dancing? They like dance just like Elon Musk, exactly like him. It's funny, but like think about like renting that bad boy out. Like I would want to rent that for my. I want a Tesla bot at my party dancing with me. I mean, I think that's even a cool idea too. Like I just
You're like at your wedding, and then you just have this Tesla bot just pop out and gets everybody all lit.
like it's
Have
being
a Tesla bot like serving the alcohol for your
There
party.
you go.
exactly that's what I'm saying. Like I mean, honestly, if I was having
We did see those things doing that at the expo. We did see them doing that. They were serving fucking alcohol. Like that's crazy.
you went to the expo, or you were talking about the videos?
The expo, the expo,
That's so cool.
like they were serving alcohol.
I seen
Uh,
this.
I mean, they were carrying on full blown humanoid like conversations with people.
Yeah, I seen a lot.
I mean, they were very interesting, but I still would raise serious questions about their ability to replace the human factor in the party rental industry.
Me too, 100%, 100%. Like I can't wait to actually see it in action or actually get like I'm gonna be so jealous if someone gets one before me. But yeah, it's. I mean, I think
I'm
it's
gonna tell you what, if those things ever get corrupted and it turns into an iRobot scenario, I'm gonna break it down like a shotgun. Like that no shot.
But you're not looking to replace the human factor. You're looking to assist the human factor. As you said, take your back out of it, and it's
Have
able
them
to
lift
do.
it for us, but we handle the majority of the work. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember that the human factor is it's the marketing standpoint. Our
Yep.
employees are the ones who the clients keep coming back and saying, hey, I like that person, they did a good job, I want to work with them again. They are the marketing standpoint, they are the sellers, the walking talking billboards of your companies. So if you take away the human factor and replace it with robots, I mean, you're going to have a wow factor of those things for like a shelf life, a period of time until they're old and people are just like, yeah, seen that, been there, done that, and they want to go back to who they know.
Great point, Stephen. Great point. Those things they have limited advantage. I don't think they'll have a great use in our
Yeah,
business.
I mean, like, okay, yeah, cool. We got these robots that are coming, and we get them. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, cool, a fucking robot. This is great." But then after they've been around for like 10, 15, 20 years, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, seen it, been there, done that. Where's the guy that I used to work with?" Like they want that interaction, and they want to know that the human factor, the emotional factor, they want to know that they're being taken care of. A robot can only do but so much. A robot doesn't have feelings. A robot is programmed to do their job.
The robot cannot do customer service for you.
Nah.
Callan, no sir.
Cannot do customer service. So it's
At the end of the day, I just want 3 of them. So
Are you sure they
I
can
know.
do customer service? Because I'm pretty I mean, we already know that they can because
I mean, I think they could, but just to kind of give like that like human factor, you know, that you guys are mentioning, and then, you know, be a little bit more like personal with the customers. It still kind of works out because meanwhile, you know, the robot's over there doing its thing, doing what it needs to do. You can handle the customers, you can entertain the customers, you know, answer any questions, whatever, instead of where normally we would have to work, do the labor, and then make time to speak with the customers, answer any questions, ask them like whatever, you know, have that conversation, which sometimes takes 30-40 minutes. Like it just depends what customers you have.
absolutely. I'm sure that,
customer customer service vary from one customer to another. So even if you program the robot is not going to be that like flexible to satisfy all the various needs of the different customers that you have. I don't think it's realistic.
I mean,
That's why you have to do the labor work. Meanwhile, you take care of the customers.
at the end of the day, we're still going to have humans on hand for
Yeah.
troubleshooting anyway.
For sure.
So even if something goes wrong with the bots, we still have that human factor on the job sites.
What if the robot breaks down at a certain moment when you're in serious business?
Yeah,
You still have to go and hire somebody. So
I'll
it's better.
use this as a prime example. I did an event for a school, and there was some cords that burned up that needed replacing on site. I'm definitely not gonna put a damn robot on that to troubleshoot that. You know, if they touch that, they're mechanical, just like everything else is. I don't want them to get compromised because of something that burned up on the job site. I'd rather go in there and fix it myself. At least I know that the job is getting done right, and I don't have to worry about myself getting compromised over that robot. That's a $20,000 to $30,000 piece of equipment that if something goes wrong with it, my wallet is out of 20 to 30 grand, and it's being destroyed because of something I could have done myself.
right. So they do have like a emergency shutdown setting, so they're able to detect danger or situations where they can be harmed. So they'll like do emergency shutdowns and stuff. That's just from what I know, but that's a good point.
how many hours do they last for?
That's a good point. Let me ask.
It got quiet. We need to talk about these bots some more. I mean, I'm thinking about like how would you go about branding? Like, would you get like company decals on it? Like most of us, we brand
Why
employees
not? That's free promotion while it's out there.
like what like put a company decal on this fucker's chest.
Imagine you're just driving by, you know, you're la in the neighborhood, you just see this robot doing this thing, and they're like, you know, you got the logo up on there. Yeah, I'm gonna give them a call.
Yeah, put a
New
shirt.
stream of revenue. I'm gonna sell advertisement on the robot in town, and I'm gonna have 20 of them.
Have them with a little shirt and hat, you know, rocking the gear.
Juggling, you know,
Literally.
they could just advertise for you. Hey, so okay, to answer the question, they have a 2.3K WH, I don't know what that means. Battery, which allows to operate for approximately 8 hours, which is a full shift.
Beautiful. How do they charge? Just regular outlet or
That
solar?
depends. That depends. Not all shifts are 8 hours, because I've been a part of some situations, some jobs where it ran over to like 12 to 15 hours, especially when you're doing those big corporate events and you're stacked back to back. Those are long work days.
Absolutely.
That's when you get 2 of them.
Or
They
two
need to plug in, or are they solar? Or are they solar?
You can always get another battery.
Generally, they have batteries.
You like plug them in your car? You take
Let's-
them to the solar station to get plugged in?
Take
Huh?
one of the Tesla
We've
stations.
seen how well those electrical cars turned out. Plug it in, and you only get a short shelf life on that thing.
That part.
So they charge similar to Tesla vehicles.
Say
How
what?
long is the charge before you get a full life of battery?
It depends. That depends. With a Tesla, you can optimize your battery so that you can get a faster charge, and the longer that it's optimizing, the faster that it will charge. But if you don't know how to optimize your battery before you get to the thing, you're gonna be sitting there at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Tesla- if you don't have a Tesla, you're doing something wrong if you're just driving around the neighborhood anyways. So I love mine.
Oh, you have a Tesla, Ray? That's cool. So they're
I took mine back because I do actual work in my car. I do actual gigs in my car, and it was interfering within the time frame that I could be doing my gigs versus charging or waiting for a charge.
So to answer your question, it's 1 to 2 hours to fully recharge. So I guess you could schedule that way.
Mhm.
But so with the Tesla cars, I know like different cars have like different battery life. So like they're the more expensive ones last longer, the newer ones last longer. So there's like the older ones that don't last as long, but I think it's a little different with these.
I wonder if maybe like if it does like more extensive work, does it run out of battery faster?
That's
Or
actually a
like
good.
carrying
Or a highway. It's
Yeah.
like a highway.
heavy.
It's just the same thing with your gas. While you on the highway, you burning more gas than while you're on the street.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if these would work the same. So like if it were carrying something heavier and
Dude,
had to make it travel up the hill, would it kill like 2 hours of the battery life?
Yep.
No,
So
I don't think it'll kill that much, but I believe
Maybe
that
not
it will kill.
Happens.
could-
Inconvenient
in
too.
transit from from one job site to another, I could foresee the ability to plug it in and keep it charged while you're transitioning from one job site to another. Like,
Mhm.
I don't really think that you could ever
But
really.
but that's not a good idea because it's a battery. It's just like a charger. You're gonna burn that charger out. You're gonna burn that battery out, and that battery is gonna actually need that charger to work.
Okay, I think she
Yep,
has.
that's absolutely right. When I use a power tool, I don't hook that battery up till it's dead.
oh my God, someone said, I don't know who's AAA, but he said, damn, so
I
y'all,
saw that.
he said, damn, so for real, y'all were talking about robots. I said no to a date for this. Goodbye.
I saw that. I was like, all right, come on now.
Oh man.
I'm
I
sad.
Hey, that guy knew what the conversation was going to be about.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't be
It was
trying to come in
promoted.
here and mess up our good time. We had good times on Tuesdays. Please don't bring that bad energy.
That's all right, Barbara. We'll hook you up on a date with one of those robots.
I look forward to Tuesdays at 7 o'clock because I know what I'm doing.
Yup.
How's
Lisa,
everybody?
did we get the answer for that? Does it like drain it more or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but I mean,
of course it
any
will.
other battery, just like any other battery, I can assume that if you work it more or give it like excessive tasks, that it'll drain the battery and run it down. Just like if you was to hit the gas or whatever on your car, you run it down. I can assume that that's just like any other battery.
But I wonder how drastic it is. Like, does it tell you or no?
Does it carry on conversations with you?
yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sweet.
yeah.
I'll definitely get one.
You might have to train it. You might have to train it to take
Scared of-
over the.
Well,
Yeah,
Ray, when you get one, I want to come see how it works, Ray.
Okay. As soon as they come out, I'm gonna get one.
You might have to
I start
train
counting
it.
up my pennies now.
You might have to
Ray
train it
finna
to carry out
pre-order it.
actual crew camaraderie. Like
It's gonna be like the
just
iPhone.
imagine
Everybody's
having a
gonna be
robot
waiting in
come-
line. Thousands of people wrapped around a building. No
Oh,
different
no,
than an iPhone.
A lot of us, it takes like 10 years to buy a power dolly, and that's only $4,000. So spending 20 grand, yeah, you're buying an employee, but if you're looking for tools to make the job easier, you don't want something going to backtalk you, and then you have to cut its head off.
I wonder if it'll take my dog for walks out through the day when I'm not home.
that would be a handy job for it.
It would be a great
Well,
job.
no, it's not a matter of it talking back to you. I mean, like you know, just like with any company, when you want a good crew, you want a good crew camaraderie, like people who get along really well, who can joke around and shit talk each other and have a good time. Could you imagine trying to carry on a conversation with this thing and the robot shit talking you right back like that?
Can you imagine Ray actually paying like $20,000 just to have a dog sitter, a dog walker?
Not even that.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's a
pay my
business
dog walker
write-off.
like $50 a day when she comes over. So I mean,
Oh,
getting close.
All right, we talking
Ridiculous.
about the
Bottom,
robots.
ask Quita.
Let's talk
She'll show
about
you
how
where
can
they're
we get the charger
It'd be the
station.
bottom drawer of the silverware.
oh, that is a good point. Where would you put it to charge? Do you
Let's
need,
talk
like, a
about getting them
specific-
charging stations for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the.
Or is that like
Hey,
a separate
hey,
charge? A
those
separate
charging
$100
stations
charge?
are
think-
owned by
I think you
individuals.
can just charge it everywhere you want. I mean, like just like a Tesla car.
No,
Tesla car.
Well, no,
I'm
actually,
saying what I'm saying is
to
let's
add-
go into
Yeah, that plug's
you need an
expensive.
adapter. You need an adapter for the Tesla cars. Like, well, especially if you want to charge it at home.
Yeah, it's expensive too.
Well, it did say
For-
about using standard, like they're working on making it available for you, like standard charging. Like that's
the-
something.
So
That's
for
good.
for
Can you
the
imagine,
charging
like,
for the car, they're like
rebuilding your
$250, and you can
Could you
install it at home.
Yeah, but
But
could
those
you
chargers
imagine?
at home, does not do fast charging.
Well, it have a label
You gotta
of
have
the
Tesla
charger.
come out
You
and
got
put
you
one
got
in.
like level
are the good
1 or
ones.
level 2.
You gotta understand though that plug in your home, you already have electricity moving. So what makes you think that power is gonna go even more faster when you already using electricity going on in your own home?
I know what is gonna move faster, higher. That bill.
Well, I assume they use the same plug with a car. So let's say if you work the robot and then they'll die in the middle of the day, you can just take them to the fast charger and charge them for like 30 minutes. Normal car, the normal Tesla, it take you probably like 40 minutes from 0 to 80%.
Oh,
And
yeah?
we don't need a car to charge up to 100%.
To 100%.
Yeah,
But
you
they
don't need
did
that.
it- they
And it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah,
to
that's why
charge
everyone
your,
gets stuck on the freeway. Then you have to go charge them up. But okay.
But they did just
But-
say
No.
where-
The thing is, they tell you that when you have an electric car, it's not good to charge your. It's only good to charge your car up to 100% once a week. After that is 80%. That way
well,
you won't
a
die that
Tes-
battery out.
A Tesla car, it have two different type of battery. It have a battery that can charge up to 100%, no problem. But then it also have another battery that recommended to charge to 80%. So basically, if you use the one with the 80%, like some car, they can charge to 100%, but recommend it to be 80. So that way the battery life it lasts longer. But then if you do 100% all the time, no problem. But then your battery life is shorter.
Start
But then
draining
if
better.
but then if it's still in warranty, then the Tesla will replace it for free. So, but yeah, for the robot, I think if it can do the dishes and clean up my house for 5 years, $30,000, I think it's worth it.
Your hands are good. What?
Absolutely.
They're waterproof.
Yeah, they don't. It's like a car.
resistant, basically. But but you mentioned that they're working on making it like regular outlets, right? So what I'm thinking is, even if it does die in the middle of a setup, if you just invest in getting one of those chargers that converts into a home outlet, that you just plug into your car, you can just plug it in there instead of like using like the customer's electricity and then you have to deal with that.
Yeah,
you
they
said.
have they have three different level of the charger. So level one is the one that so when you buy a charger, it'll like $250, and then it come with a different plug. So you can plug into your regular outlet, 110.
But that's a
Yeah, it'll
charge.
probably take you like 2 day, 3 day to charge your car to 100% on a car.
Mhm.
But then if you have a level two, it take you like 4 hour to from like 30% to 80%. So 4 hour, and then I mean like you sleep longer than 44 hours. So you see what I mean? Like so you just plug in at night when you go to sleep. By the time you wake up, your car is ready for you. Unless you forget to plug them in. So
I forgot to
but
plug
then
my phone in. And I use my
yeah. Yeah.
phone.
I don't
But
plug my phone in until I get in the truck in the morning.
Right? Sometimes like I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, oh, there's still like 20%. That's fine. I'll just charge it in the morning.
but
And
then
then I'll get to the job site and be
most of
like, oh,
companies, like some people company, they have like a charging station over there, and you can just dry it with low percentage, and then by the time you get to work, you just plug it in there. And most of company, they give like a discount for their employee when they use electric vehicle and charging over there.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then if so, for example, if the robot it die on you or broke down in the middle of the job, I mean you can take it over and then just shovel that into your back of your trunk and call the company, and then they will come to your house and fix your robot, just like the
but
car.
but they talk about the next steps for the party rental business, and it's going to be the next thing we rent out, and it's just a purchase, and we rent it to do the manual labor jobs that people don't want to do. If you buy
I
it for 30 grand and rent it out for $1,000 a week, it don't take but 30 weeks to pay for it, and then you got 22 weeks in a month or a
Pretty good
year
with that
profit.
math over there.
Like if I can make my money back on a purchase, plus almost pay for a second one, and at a daily rate of $250. Like you get this employee to come out here and dig this hole. We rent them people to the construction companies that don't get nobody to come to work to pack brick, pack lumber. They can lift 150 pounds. So instead of looking at it to come into the industry to do our job, how about it just to be another market that we're able to enter?
Yeah.
All about perspective, honestly. I mean, honestly, just think about it, what it's going to do for other industries. I mean, I feel like the first jobs to go are going to be customer service based jobs. Because even in China, like right now, in China, they've been having, this isn't new, like in China, they have robots at restaurants. Like it's actually more common than it obviously is not common at all here, but they already have that. And I seen one of the robots, she was hot. Okay, she looked hot. They had like the skin thing, like not like the Tesla bots. They were like they try to make them look like humans. But yeah, in other countries, I mean, mainly China that I know of, they're already utilizing that for customer service jobs.
We would have got like robots at our McDonald's here. So I mean, they don't have anybody really working the counters anymore, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it is crazy.
You're gonna get vending machine McDonald's pop up, and they're gonna pop up like the Dollar Generals in my area. They pop up like they plant a seed, and you're gonna get a McDonald's kiosk with the ability to microwave or air fry you whatever you want.
Nice.
I can definitely foresee people getting innovative with their business trailers though. When that thing needs to be charged, I can see some people making like some stand-up charging ports, set the bot inside your trailer, stand it up, and just charge it on the fly. I can foresee some people reworking their trailers a little bit.
On the way to another reservation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's gonna
road.
sit on the tongue of the trailer and charge by the inverter that comes out of the 7 plug of the vehicle. I'll run a power line to it to run an inverter.
The cool thing is that I did see like a video the other day of like this influencer that I follow. Like she's a legit person, right? And she lives in LA, and she had ordered an Uber that was a self-driving Uber that just came and picked her up, and the wheel was just moving by itself. She got in the Uber, took her to where she belonged, and left. So that's already something that happens. Like that already exists. Self-driving Ubers, it's already there. It's not
They
so
have,
that
have
We've
robots
seen a lot of those self-driving vehicles at the expo. We've seen the Tesla taxis and the buses.
yeah, it's crazy. That's already crazy. So well, there was two of you first.
I think it is possible because of so
What?
What happened?
oh
He was talking in
I think I can see that it's happened like because of
Oh, Tom, you're breaking up.
Oh, he's breaking up. Okay. Mm.
Oh
I'm
wow.
sorry my internet is sucked.
Oh wait, that's AI
Yeah.
generated. I thought this was for real, Joel.
Imagine. No, I was because I had
Imagine that thing
commented.
just sitting on the back
I,
of the trailer, plugging
that's what I'm
itself in.
saying. I was like, imagine that thing charging at a gas station like a Tesla. And then I was like, let me see what this will look like. So ChatGPT for the win.
It killed it.
For real.
That is hilarious.
So I always think like this, like so you know how those electric dolly where it have a motor where it can move itself. I mean you remote to it, and then it also have a winch where it can roll the um bounce house for you. But then now when you have a Tesla robot, maybe you make them work together with those dolly. So you let the robot set up the bounce house ready, and then tell that robot to use the winch to, roll it. So that way, I mean, that probably work, like
That's actually
it
really
don't
that'd
have.
probably be like the most effective way to get the most battery out of it, I guess.
Yes, because
How much do they weigh?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm not sure. I can find out. But that was a good point because when I
I
was
think
looking,
that depends on what they're made out of, like what kind of materials they use to make these things on how much it'll weigh.
I mean, they did lift
They bulletproof.
150.
I think they're bulletproof.
no, they're
I think it's
124
like
pounds.
heavy.
How much?
Wait, hold on. What, Ziana, what are you saying?
They're 124 pounds and they're about 5'8". I just remembered. I looked that up.
Where'd you get all this information from?
OpenAI.
5'8" and 124 pounds, and they can deadlift 150.
Yeah.
That's about their weight.
You shitting me?
But it's not a human machine. But deadlifting, if you think about it, like when people deadlift heavier than their own weight. That's
Right.
deadlifting is really.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty neat. I think it's neat.
I mean, it's but like I like what you said because that is how Amazon like optimizes it. For example, they have the electric dollies that are AI, like they're already a robot. Like the dolly's a robot, and then they have the robots working with the dollies that are a robot. So like it's like a combination, right?
Wait, so we get those
those automated dollies are supposed to make our jobs easier on us. So we're not having to put so much of our own body strength into it, so we're not wearing ourselves out. So pairing it with a bot, I can imagine
powerhouse team.
Yeah, like I could imagine that it would help preserve some of that bot's battery.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a little bit easier chance of working with it.
Probably have to do maintenance less often, less frequently.
100%.
That's true.
They don't drink. They don't need nothing to eat. They don't drink. Like I can stop in the store and buy me a soda. I don't have to buy it a soda.
Oh man.
And the business expense.
The pricing for groceries are going nowadays. It's like I don't want to necessarily buy you guys a meal every time.
I heard people said that robot it can cut your grass for you too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
See,
right?
That robot can do everything you want that robot to do.
personal
So
little
I'm gonna rent it to mowing companies when they don't get a guy to come in to cut the yards.
There
So I'm
you
gonna make
They
double
gonna
money.
already have them, Aaron. Everybody
No,
trying to get them.
they ain't gonna spend that 20 grand for it, but they'll rent it from me for a week for $1,000.
go.
Yeah.
Or you can start a lawn mowing company. So on the weekdays when you don't have party rental deliveries
Mm-hmm.
or power washing or something.
Gutter cleaning, because as long as they ain't afraid of heights, and
There
if
you-
they fall, it ain't no workman's comp claim. It's a robot.
If
It's
the
an
bot,
insurance claim.
if the bot only needs to watch you do something to learn, you can make it do anything and make that thing learn how to make you money.
Exactly.
Like, so when you're not using it, when you don't have rentals, hey, little guy, go take care of this for me and build me this and whatever and sell it. Like, it's just
Then it gives you that.
good investment.
Does
If you do
it
it right.
like what connections does it have? Like, are they gonna have just a Type C connection, or what is they're talking about charging? But are you gonna the software updates? How are you gonna connect it? Does it have to stay connected to internet?
That's the question.
Yeah.
That-
I think it have a cellular in there, just
Mm.
like the car, because the car it have a cellular, it's just not a fast speed
Like
internet.
its own Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Mm.
Kind of like how have their own stuff.
Hello.
5Gs.
Well, I go into rural areas and we don't got service. Like, does the robot shut down when it can't connect?
Starlink.
Nah, a Starlink, yeah, it got a good satellite there, so I think it should be no problem on that part.
That is a good question. There are some areas out there that are dead zones. So that is going to be a questionable factor right there if the bot just fucking shuts down in the middle of a dead zone.
Well, I'm sure they'll have like Starlink technology because I don't see why they wouldn't do that, Like, or you
All
can get
right, Robin, we'll see you next week.
Bye, Robin. But I don't know if you guys are not familiar with this. So it's like a solar powered internet that can work in dead zones, basically. One of my coworkers living in a remote island in Argentina, and they're able to be on Zoom all the time with Starlink.
They're quite expensive though.
Yeah, they're like 150 a month. Kind of like
So, is that something added to the robot cost, or is that a subscription you got to pay for? Is that
Yeah. It's at 150 a month, so
well, I don't know. Let's see.
Well, I mean that's for the internet, but for the robot itself, I'm assuming they do it the same concept as the car. I mean they have a cellular in there by itself,
you would think for
but then
$20,000 they would just kind of put it in there.
yeah,
So at the end of it all, there is some overhead on it.
Extra expenses.
you know
Well,
the
that's what this meeting is
the
about, just figuring it out, asking questions, seeing what, just
Yeah, this is like 50% theoretical with fact, right? So we're just kind of discussing like what it can look like. What do we know right now? And how we can draw that to like how will it transform, right? Because we do know some information that's like, yeah, like actually this is very, very possible, right? Very
Right.
possible. How we're gonna do it, we don't know. But
well, we rent the robots and we become a staffing service, and we don't have to have social security numbers.
yeah.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, remember that conversation the other day about the hiring illegal immigrants in the round table?
I mean, everybody's looking for somebody to come to work, and if they are talking about for party rental, then just the thought of robots coming in and doing what we do requires so much of a lot of different things that comes into it.
Absolutely.
So if they're able to do what we do, there's nothing that we do that they can't do. And if that's what they're trying to do,
That's a lot
mankind ain't ready for it, and it won't happen.
I'm gonna burn up that fucker's processors, teaching it everything I fucking know.
Oh, bro, I would fry its brain in a day. It spends a week with me. It's gonna have a motherboard, overload, software. They're gonna send that robot that warranty. They'll replace it every week.
Have you
Gonna
guys
make that
Cindy,
thing
the newest
explode.
and the greatest.
have you
Could
guys seen
be asking us, what did we do to it?
They'll
molested
quit telling me
knowledge.
after they'll limit me to 10 replacements.
I just want my room cleaned like every day for me. Like chores. Like imagine the mental freedom I'd have done for me.
Okay,
I mean, if you're able to teach it, it's a butler, and for even 30 grand, like you're able to teach something to have dinner ready when you get home, and you're able to Starlink and connect to it. And all right, I'm 30 minutes from home. Have
well, what
dinner
do
ready.
you do? What do you do if it does start? What do you do if it does start getting feelings like that one movie, Megan?
Yeah.
Oh, look at Smart House on Disney.
Or yeah, we can throw it back all the way down to Smart House. Yep.
So I'll be honest, I'm one of the people that believes that the world's gonna end from robots. I'm just putting that out there. So I'm like, that's like my biggest fear, and I feel like it's very possible
It's
because
scary. Yes, it is extremely possible. Like, be in denial if you want to, but hey, the facts are out there.
Wait a minute. What's the name of
Megan,
name
but
of that? What's the name of the internet?
like a
What's
with
the name of the
a
internet that the Tesla has?
the Starlink.
Terminator.
oh, huh? Oh,
What?
Terminator.
Remind me.
You've never watched Terminator?
That was a really long time ago.
He's building an army of fucking robots, and he's got a internet service
and that's how
called
he controls it.
Starlink that the bots are probably going to have to run off of in order to function.
I mean, there's a lot of movies out there that have like that kind of like scenario in it. So it's like, they get the ideas from somewhere. So,
It's real possibilities. Like they base it off real possibilities.
The world comes up with the idea, then they got to make it. They don't do nothing without the idea.
Of course.
And when they make the movie and then turn around and make said shit, dude, you just made a movie about this. Did you learn?
You're talking about
nothing?
You're talking about iRobot. You're talking about iRobot.
Yeah, like did you learn from nothing? Like,
you
made a movie about the robots kicking your ass and taking over, and you want to go and turn around and make
the
robots a movie about it?
That's why I wouldn't leave the warehouse, but I would threaten the guy when he come to work. Bro, don't make me make a robot replace you. And if this robot can do it, you should be able to do it.
Keep the bot in the corner and be like, you see that motherfucker right there? Yeah. If you don't do your job, guess what? He will.
And that'll motivate a couple people that if they're willing to work, that'll motivate them to go like, man.
Stop.
It's the robot. The robot, when it gets tips, is it going to bring them back to you?
Oh, see, that's where I'll draw the line. No fucking robots taking my tips.
They got to pay for their bills.
They don't got bills.
They got to deal with us.
Well, no. Okay, look, the robots will have bills because they got that maintenance and all that
We
shit.
don't
So,
have to pay those bills.
but we, as the human, we're paying this robot's bills. So yeah, the money still comes to us.
Mm-hmm.
What is he going to do? Pay his own damn bills?
Well, if we work,
just slip the card in, pay through the bot.
Oh yeah, and we don't have to worry about it. Like, yep, you pull up, you slide the card.
And then they're gonna be like, "Well, what happens if I don't want to pay? I don't know. You don't want to get that bot angry. I wouldn't do it."
If the chest is red, don't come near.
Oh, you don't want to pay? You don't want to pay your bill? You ever seen that movie iRobot? Yeah. Do you really want to not pay your bill?
So when did this idea, or like, I guess, like, is it being used already, like in the bounce house industry?
No.
All right, Zoel, bye.
thought.
See you next week.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine that only the people. I can only imagine that only the people who maybe worked on them probably have some in their own houses to test them, and that's how they figured that they could just mass produce them and put them out. So they've probably tested them on their own people, the people who built them. So I can assume that there are some places out there that has them. I just don't think that they're in the party rental industry yet.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
Right. They're
But you-
catering in for other things.
I don't even think that they've been sold out to like regular people yet.
So it's pretty
They
much
did. They took pre-orders on them.
Oh,
Yeah, some people reserved some at the expo. So there's going to be some out there doing God knows what at some point. So there were pre-orders. There were some of those bots that were featured at the expo. Some of them were reserved and pre-ordered that night. So
well,
I don't
I'm
know
a
who
little
bought-
excited and scared at the same time to see it. So definitely looking forward to it. Kind of, sort of.
cool, full legit functioning robot. Yeah, he's taking my money. So there's a yay and a nay to it.
That is too funny. I mean, if it's working for me, it's making me money. So shoot.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I can't really foresee. I mean, I guess if he's making you money, it's okay. But if it kind of, but that still falls under the purview of the workforce. You know, like there are people out there who do want to work, and so I don't really like the idea of replacing the workforce entirely with an automated service. I just don't.
Just like, like you said, like it's just starting out. I think definitely, it's going to take a little bit of time before anybody really, really starts to like hop on it to a point where it'll be replaced.
We'll have to partner.
like that.
We'll have to partner humans with the bots.
Right. But I think as long as I think there's a way, there's a way to make it to where you can still have those people, but instead of having them do like hard labor, you can actually have them doing something else and teaching them like for example, if you are trying to find somebody who wants to have a career in bounce houses, okay, great. Hey, I need more people to help me with administrative work. I need people to help me with promotional work, marketing, stuff like that. Like there's just so many other places. Just running a business on its own, like take out the bounce house industry part of it, but running a business period. Bye, Aaron. Running a business period, you have so many different aspects of it where instead of like, just having that load on yourself, you can now, kind of spread it out evenly with all these other people. And you're still able to do like labor work and stuff like that. Like, there's just so many events, like you may not have, $60,000 to get three robots, or maybe you find a way that works for you, like a system that works for you, where like you said, you do pair a human with the bot and a dolly, and then you just have it work as a team, and then you have like that person be a team leader and just running like certain aspects of that'll take strain off of you, and you're able to focus on more important things, like family, for example.
Learn off of somebody.
Instead of working all day long, doing all administrative work, you're with your family, enjoying the time that you have. So
Yeah, the bot's got to learn from somebody anyway. So there's still gonna need to be a human factor laid into it.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, like you said, like if we pair the human workforce with the robot workforce, have the bots handle the heavy lifting. I mean like you said, the human factor, they can like interact with the client, get them, get all their contracts signed up. Like for those who still do paper contracts, have them signing contracts, the administrative stuff on site. while the bot is rolling the unit and handling all the heavy stuff. Save
Or
your back.
taking care of the drop off forms, making sure that they sign the drop off and you have your proof that you did drop it off. They can't say, hey, you didn't drop it off.
I mean, that's something I'm curious about too. Like, are the bots going to have like built-in cameras in their heads? Like, will they be able to take pictures for us if they drop off a unit?
That would be pretty cool. If not, you can always get a GoPro, stick it on his head.
Yeah.
There's always a way, Steven. There's always a way.
There is. They've made so much shit out there. Yeah, I guess you could slap a GoPro on his head.
Get a full 360, man.
Yeah.
Good session, guys. Good session.
Yeah, this was good. It's really interesting.
Something we're left with.
A lot of good talking points. The yays and nays, the ups and downs of these things.
For sure.
I just asked, so they said that they will have built-in cameras just like the Teslas do, like for navigation purposes and tasks. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to send photos to through the app, right? Because they're gonna have an app.
Full-blown recording.
I might, if it allows us to do it, I might actually try to link one of those things up to company social media, and when they take pictures or record video,
or go live,
post straight up,
right,
to the company social media platforms.
Like, hey, we're live.
Like if they're gonna earn us money, then they can damn well promote for us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's always hard to remember to post photos once you do that. It's like
just program it to like go live every time it does a setup.
Yeah, I mean, I know of a handful of companies now that has been in business for a long time, but they always forget to post to their social medias.
Yeah.
And that's like a marketing, in my opinion, that's like a marketing no-no. Don't neglect your socials, because you always have people who look to that and be like, ooh, I like that. I think I might rent from these guys. So I think it's important to keep up with those. So if the bot can keep up with that and just take the pictures, make videos, or go live or whatever, and self-promote for you on the job site, then that'd be great.
That sounds worth $20,000, because most people spend that much in marketing anyways.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll take my job too. I don't know.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then we're all here having this discussion for no fucking reason at all. We're just like, oh yeah, we're talking about our own demise, our own downfall.
Right? I want to try to find that video with Elon talking about like the future and like how it would be worrying about their jobs and stuff. It made a lot of sense when he was talking about it, but again, he's probably promoting his products.
No,
Yeah.
well, Elon probably.
Well, that man's brain never stops, so he's probably always working on something new and innovative to try to enhance
For
human.
sure.
Right. I mean, I would love to not have to work again in my life. I mean, I would want to work on hobbies. I would love to just focus on being
I can't imagine not working though. Like you're always gonna have that drive to want to make money. Because just like during COVID, you never want to have that feeling of where the hell is my next paycheck gonna come from.
Yeah,
but it's always gonna be in your head, like, I gotta work, I gotta do this.
Well, unless we had like the government give us a bunch of money and then we could just create stuff and focus on creativity and like things that we actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Right?
I think if you have the freedom, it's hard to think about it because we're so wired to work for money. But if we were to have the option and the actual possibility to be able to not work and still make money, I'm sorry, I don't know who would pass that up. If you want to do something labor-wise, something manual, because you're just an active person, like go garden, get a farm. I don't know.
Maybe it's the self-preservation.
Learn how to weld. I don't know.
maybe it's the self-preservation in me. I don't know how I would feel about relying on the government to give me money,
Yeah.
and just keep me at
You're
peace.
slow, and they can't even pay their their past due.
It'd be like taking those stimulus handouts. Like I think it would create lazy people.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like, it would become subjective. Like, if you want to be lazy, I mean, honestly, yeah, I could see depression being on the rise when people, you always have to have like a purpose, right? You're always gonna, and he talks about that. That's one of the things he talks about in that video is like,
That's why you got a hobby, though.
exactly. So like, I'm like a creative person. I love to create. When I was younger, I used to have a lot more time to sit there and sew and make clothes and create all this cool art. Now I don't because I have to work for money.
Yeah.
And although, I was actually a pretty successful hairstylist, I had a salon and everything, and I used to love doing hair until I started doing it for money. Then it became a normal job. I stopped because I wasn't doing it because I loved it anymore.
Yeah, stop caring. Like, listen. For example, okay. Have any tattoos?
Me, no.
Okay. What about Steven? Do you have any tattoos?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, shoot. Okay. Well, okay. I have a few.
Right,
Okay.
no,
let me.
no.
I was gonna say maybe you guys will relate to this, but I guess not. Okay. So like, I went to this one chick to get a tattoo from her the first time. This was when she was still kind of like in her starting out phase. Beautiful. I loved her work. Everything was freaking amazing. Like shading, everything was so nice. Like her line work, her shading, everything super, super nice. Went back almost 2 years later. This is now her job. This is not her doing what she loves. Now she literally depends on making tattoos. Like if she doesn't make a tattoo, she doesn't eat. So now I went back and I'm just kind of looking at her tattoo compared to the one that she did. Literally, it's right next to each other. You would think it's two different people. Why? Because her enthusiasm, her drive, her ambition to do that has now been stripped away because it has become a responsibility. You feel me? Instead of it becoming something you're doing because you just love to do it. Now you have expenses. Now she has to always pay for her room. Like it's not her own salon. She's renting a room or booth or however you want to call it. If you're a bartender, you got to pay for your chair. If you're a salon stylist, you got to pay for your chair. If you're working a mechanic and you're working out of a shop, you got to pay for your bay. It's the same
investments for success.
Exactly. But when it becomes that much of a heavy burden that you just have to do it, it doesn't feel fun anymore. It takes that out of it and you just don't put your all into it anymore.
Yeah, I will say I always put my all into like what I did because I felt like I owed the person that was paying me. So like I guess that just depends on the person, but at the same time it didn't take away from the fact that I literally dreaded working when I used to love it. But it's because I had to. Like I wasn't just being creative. I had to do what everybody wanted me to do. It wasn't like I can get creative and do any kind of hair I wanted. It was like give me highlights, make me blonde every single time.
Everybody coming in asking for the same thing.
Like, okay.
But I mean that goes with like all right, so like having a job though, like to give it your all, you would want to work doing something that you actually enjoy.
Right.
Because when you're working doing something that you don't enjoy, that's when you are most miserable because you fucking hate your job. So when you get a job, like you want to get it in something that you do enjoy because at least you're going to give it that 100% every time. Because you're like I love what I'm doing, so I'm gonna bust my ass and do this twice as better than anybody else because I love what I'm doing.
Okay, but what if the job that you're doing isn't paying enough to cover your expenses for your three people family and your bills and your rent and your car insurance and your phone bills and all of that? What happens then? Then you have to find a job that pays more. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be in the same field that you enjoy doing. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like people are out here busting their ass like in sun, doing construction because they like it. Like, no, most people really, it's not necessarily because they like
They
it. It's
do
because
because
there's
they
money.
know they ain't gonna be nobody else who's gonna do it for them. Like
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, but
might
so if
gotta
you
build
were to
these places.
have a robot doing it for you, why not do that? Have the robot do it for you. You're not busting your ass. You're being able to enjoy what you're actually doing with your time, whatever that may be, whatever feeds you. Like whether that well, you want to be lazy, hey, that's you. See how long that how far
I'm
that
getting a button going into real estate.
What?
on real estate.
Yep, getting a bot going into real estate. Gonna build a bunch of fucking houses and sell them to people. Sell them, rent them, whatever.
I will say, like watching them,
It-
they're slow. That's one thing I would say. They're kind of
They're
slow.
what?
They kind of move.
Are they? They're slow.
As fast as
So here we are. We're talking about the possibility of these fucking things replacing us, and they're slow.
They're a little slow, but the good thing is that they're getting faster and faster. Like this is
it's like
that's
a error.
no, this is like version 1. So like we're talking about the future, right? Like we're talking about
So like
So like the more this thing learns, the more Tesla will evolve their bots to do the things that we need them to do.
I mean,
And
it's like
faster-
Apple started off with those fat phones, and then slowly been evolving to doing more and more things that we're able to do. Like, hey, you don't even need a freaking printer that has a scanner anymore because you can scan it on your phone. Like, why do you need a printer with a scanner? Now I just need a printer that can print.
Dude, the other day I found my old phone. Okay, it's like 10 years old. That touch
Fat.
so horrible. Like it was like you pressed it and it took like the way that it was collaborated, like everything was we thought it was the coolest thing, but it wasn't.
Right, but it was
I
so
found-
ass.
I found a whole stack of my old phones. I got some old flip phones, the little BlackBerry bots. Like I got some old ass
We were talking
fucking.
about the other day the sidekicks, Blackberries, all like that
I
thing we
think
thought
I
they
have
were
a
so
BlackBerry
cool.
in there.
Like, oh my god, the Blackberry has a freaking ball in the middle of the keyboard and we can move it like it's a freaking computer. Like we thought that was so freaking cool. Now we move everything with our finger.
Right.
You know,
But now we
like
can do that with our
about
screen.
about 6 months ago,
Mhm.
the Tesla Autopilot, like a full self-drive, when you drive on the road, and then you know how there's exit lane on the left where you turn left, it tried to change itself into that lane. It think that there's another lane over there, and you're supposed to go straight in like 60 miles an hour, and it tried to change itself into that lane, and it's freaking scary. And
Oh,
then now they do the software update, and they improve a lot. Like it can literally like take you to work without touching the steering wheel. You just like go into the car and you sit and you press a button and you say like take me to work, and then it'll set up the GPS, and then you turn on the full self-drive, and it'll just leave your house, leave your driveway, and then take you all the way to work.
Yeah, see, like it's not
And
telling you there's always a way.
yeah,
there's-
and
right?
they
There's
they work so hard on that, and I personally trust them, to be honest.
It's scary, but yes. I mean, like
And
think about it.
yeah,
It-
it is unbelievable, but then it watching you. So let's say you sit in there, and then let's say you just look in the store on the side of the road. It'll tell you, sir, you gotta look back the road, pay attention. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you fall asleep, it'll like try to
I
wake
don't
you
know.
up a couple of times, and then it'll pull itself to the side if you don't wake up.
Oh
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah.
I've heard GPS. I've heard
Sounds
GPS
like that.
call you out like that. Like I took a trip with an old friend of mine a long time ago, and he started falling asleep at the wheel, and next thing I know, this fucking GPS is like, "You seem tired. You should pull over and rest." I'm like, "What is this
That's-
bitch just say?"
That's what
Like,
happened
are
to
you
me.
kidding me?
So
When did GPSs start calling you out like that?
that's what happened to me. So I have a newborn, and my baby are twin, and I was like working
Oh,
12-hour shift.
congratulations! Twins?
Thank you.
Unicorns.
Yeah.
Wow. You gotta
Yeah,
love it.
well, they almost 2 now.
Oh, okay. This was 2
Yeah.
years. Okay, but still,
No,
congratulations.
yeah. Thank you. No, what happened was I just had them and then I was so tired working 12-hour shifts and stuff like that and had to go to the church on Wednesday and I was really exhausted. And then by the time I get into my community, you know, where you turn into your house,
Mhm.
that's when I pass out and I wreck my car and I total lost my Honda Fit.
Oh,
And yep. And then
well,
and then I was like, you know what? Let's
I'm getting.
give it a try on a Tesla, right? So I get a Tesla. And
Oh,
then I get off work. One day I get off work in the morning and I fall asleep again. But then when I fall asleep, the car wake me up. It'll like literally like red on the screen and tell me like to take control immediately. And then I woke up at that time and then I take over. And then after that, it won't drive you no more. So basically, it punish you for a week. It's like, okay, you violated one time. I'm not gonna drive you for 1 week. And then
oh my God, how do you explain that to your employee? I mean, your employer. Like, hey, dude, I can't make it to work. My Tesla's mad at me because I fell asleep behind the wheel yesterday.
So
oh,
you
there
can
was
help. It just
I work night shift, but when it's happened, it's in the morning where I get off work.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So
So
yeah, and then
you could still drive it. It just won't self-drive you, right?
yes, Well,
Oh,
so in order to get it to drive you again, you have to completely stop the car and basically turn it off, and then you go back in. Um, it'll start everything start all over. So basically, you get five strike. So if it happened 5 times, then it used to lock you out for 2 months, but then now they do only 1 week. It used to block you only 1 week.
wow.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, um, it's quite a bit of expensive, like it's really expensive to me for that car. But when after my do research, I could not find any other car that have ability the same way that it can do and with that price range. So yes, um, I
So,
honestly hate the way it look because it's ugly, but it's so smart.
so you still have the Tesla then?
I do, yes.
Oh my goodness.
I really
Yeah,
want
and when I try to get a charger at home, people trying to charge me like $700 just to get a charger installed at home.
Wait,
And
listen.
then
you said it looks ugly. Do you have the one that looks like the refrigerator, or which one? Which
That's
one?
now I have the one the Model Y, the one that
Oh,
the
oh,
yeah
the
yeah
Swiss.
the refrigerator one is
With,
$100,000. Cannot afford it.
oh, that's the one with the doors that open up. Oh, okay.
The way Tesla
Well, the
Model Y.
one that opened up, that's a Model X, I believe, and that
Oh,
one almost $100,000 also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it look nice
yeah.
now.
I because I get into an accident and because I live like an hour from work, and I have baby. I can tell that I really tired and I don't want to die and leave my baby alone. So that's why I decided to get that and it worth it. It really smart. And it comes with internet, by the way. So you don't have to connect it to your Wi-Fi, but if you want to, yes, you can. You can watch video at home when you park in your garage. My baby love it. Yeah, but then if you pay I think like $10 per month, you got like 5G internet. And then and then you can literally like browse internet. It have a browser on that screen and then you can check internet from there.
So
Wow.
pretty much like the pricing is like you're paying for the convenience of everything.
Yes, yes. So
And
to be honest, you are not paying for the car. You kind of like paying for technology.
yeah,
It long story short, it's just a car. I mean, any car can drive. But then because how the technology, the way they design it, their software stuff like that, yeah, that's why I can see why it's expensive.
Right. Okay.
Well, this was a great conversation. I think we had a lot of good feedback and thoughts and good things to kind of make you itch your head, like, yeah,
Definitely learned
Is
a lot.
this going to be a good idea?
Yeah. I personally think, let's say if you're hiring like a maid come to clean your house, right? Um, they're gonna charge you like $200 for the whole house. Let's say you have like a 2-story or 4-bedroom house, they're gonna charge you like $200 on each time. And then imagine if you do that a couple times per month, and then it's like getting expensive. And then for
And you never
$30,000,
knew,
30, yeah,
different.
yeah, for $30,000 and then or $20,000, and it can work for you 5 years. Let's say the life of that robot, it lasts for only 5 years, and then it keep my house clean, my restroom clean, my dishes. I don't have to touch it. But yeah, I think it's worth it.
definitely. I mean,
Not
think
to mention cut your grass.
well, that's a good
Oh,
I think
so okay, just real quick before we do go. I'm sorry, Zion, I know you want to go. But real quick, so just based off what he said, if he pays $200 and he has the lady come twice a month, that's $400 a month times the 12 months by 5. Well, for 12 months it's $4,800, paying 400 a month for house cleaning services. If you're doing that for 5 years, you're paying $24,000.
Yeah, but it also including cutting grass. And then the lady come to clean your house. They only
Yeah, like that's
they
just
the
one service. Like you're paying $20,000 for one service around your house, and you can pay $20,000 for this robot to do all your services.
exactly.
yeah. And then
Right.
I don't know if you would get people to cut your grass. When I went away back to my country, the guy charged me $50 every 2 weeks. So that is like another $100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, definitely worth it. Yeah.
I'm like I never thought about having kids, but if I could get a Tesla bot, I might just have some kids.
If they can take care of all the other household stuff, and all I gotta do is focus the kids, I
Yeah.
think it's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loving the idea now.
Yeah, I
You'll
think
save a load on all the babysitting.
Oh, imagine. Oh,
Exactly. Although I don't know if I would trust it, but
a
yeah.
lot of work. Baby, a lot of work. I don't know. Everybody have kid. They know what I'm talking about. I was like, come on, can I get like extra 30 minutes sleep? And they're like, nope.
Like go play with the robot real quick. I'll give me about 40 minutes. I'll be up with y'all. Oh, yeah, this was great, guys. Thank y'all.
I love this. This is a great conversation. I love talking about technology. I love Steven's challenging.
I can tell you were really enthusiastic about it today.
I'm a big fan of Elon's like really societal improvements.
Yeah.
But again, I think it is some time before this actually comes into place, unless like some of the big dogs hire like 5 of them and start doing it right away. You never know. I don't know. I don't have the money for it, but I'd love to see someone try and succeed
Well,
at Steven is so
I don't. There might have been one guy that in this industry I probably would have banked on probably trying this, but at the same time, when I left him, he was ready to retire. He wanted to hand it off to his kids. So I don't know if he would actually go for the whole robot thing or not.
well, if his kids don't want it, he might.
yeah, I mean, if the kids don't want it, I mean, you might want to just get the robots and keep it going. Then I think you can still.
No, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the kids will probably run his business into the ground, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, then you'll definitely want to give it to the robot.
Hey, Ziana, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
So last week, Tariq was saying that when you go to IAPA, you're gonna get together, like get all the business owner get together at the place that you
Oh,
rent.
the party,
Is it
after party.
yeah? Is it for specific people or what open to public, like anybody can go?
You're welcome to join. I mean, you're one of our roundtable members. You can come. I could send you guys the link. So let me get the
After party, right? Like
And I just want to meet all the owner because those are cool people.
We'll get to meet Tom. We're going. I just booked my reservations today, actually.
You have the form. Can you send it to us in the chat?
For the after party?
Yeah, do you have it? I just
Yeah, Zoel
it's
sent
not my
here, hold on. I'll post it real quick. Hold on.
I don't. I can look for it. But yeah, let me see.
I have it right.
I was not sure like if it's you're open to everybody or it's just
No,
like
you
certain
have
people.
to sign up. You have to sign up. They need a head count, so they make sure that they have enough for everybody.
Yeah. So
Okay.
sign up. Steven, you too. You guys should all sign up and come. Are you gonna be at IAPA, Steven?
I don't know. I might not be there this year. I'm not too sure.
Well, if you do, definitely come. Rosalie, are you sending that? Let me look.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to send it directly to you, but I had to change it to everyone.
Oh,
okay. Here we go.
Oh, is it a link?
That's what Zoel sent me. So.
Oh, no,
So
that's not for the party. Okay, that is for the.
Oh, okay. So then she sent me the wrong thing. I figured. I was like, this doesn't look like a party, but then I was like, okay, I'll look at it later.
I found it here. Let me get it for you guys.
Yeah, 'cause then I will need it too.
Here it is. Alrighty. Let me just, where am I gonna put it? Okay. Facebook. And okay, let me just end the live stream here. Thank you guys for watching and